What's up, y'all? It's your boy Taylor, Topnotch. We're here with
Dylan Morales, a.k.a. D-Mo. How y'all doing?
This is the first of multiple podcasts that we're going to run out here. We're going to cover this week's NFL on the topic number one. We're going to cover a little bit of the NBA, what's coming up, what we're going to see. We're going to cover, MLB, but we're only going to cover the playoffs. We got a lot going on for this week. We've been doing this on Facebook for the last 2 weeks, taking our games to another level and trying to guess the games just like bettors, but we're tired of losing money, so we're just going to put our picks out here, and hopefully we get everybody else some money. We'll cover a little bit of fantasy sports with some sleeper picks that we think. We'll cover a little bit of the NFL games and topics going on within those games, as well as our predictions for each game. We don't want to let y'all down, so we're going to be everywhere. We're going to share to Facebook, the Top Notch Talking page. We're going to share to YouTube, Top Notch Talking. We're going to share snippets on TikTok. We're going to go live on Twitch every once in a while. We're going to make sure that y'all are taken care of and that we can have everybody be able to watch from anywhere.
In other words, we're going to be pretty active for you guys.
So without further ado, y'all are going to get us every Thursday morning, if not Wednesday night. And we're going to hit the ground running with Thursday's game on Amazon Prime, Dolphins at Bengals.
They got the Dolphins favored by 4, right?
Yeah, no, Cincy's favored by 4.
Cincy's favored?
Cincy's favored by 4 because it's at home, and that's why they're doing those jerseys.
Okay.
So you have the Cincinnati wearing those new white jerseys with the black and white helmets.
Oh, yeah, the all white.
Easily the cleanest jersey I've seen in the NFL this year.
Yeah, the pictures look really good. I can't wait for to see them on the field.
Yeah, so I saw a snippet of the field, and they're doing the end zones the same way. They're going to run the black and white end zones.
Oh, that's going to be dope. All white with the letters black, I'm assuming?
Yeah, and then they'll have the black Cincy marks in it.
Yeah.
With that being said, just some drama going on in there. You got Eli Apple coming back for his first game of the season, and he's already talking about he's going to follow Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, and Tyreek Hill, I can't remember the situation that happened with them in the past, but Tyreek Hill told him that he owed him. So I think for fantasy owners of Tyreek Hill, man, this guy is going to be your best player this week, I think.
Yeah.
He is one of those guys that when he talks, man, he performs, he backs it up. And Eli Apple does not look like a very
consistent
true DB1 right now at all.
Especially being off the first game back this season. With that being said, obviously everyone's starting to think that Cincinnati is the fluke run that they had through the playoffs last year. The fluke run they had to the Super Bowl, starting out 1-2. They have a good test this week in the Miami Dolphins, and being favored by 4 against what is and what could be talked about as one of the most dominant teams after the Buffalo win in the Miami Dolphins. So while I don't understand the Cincy being favored by 4, is this another Vegas trick to keep us in a low-scoring Cincinnati pulls it out at the end?
Yeah, that's so crazy to think that the Dolphins' defense just held Josh Allen to how many points?
No, it wasn't. I mean,
right?
Yeah, and it was like 19 points.
And then look what. And then now they're facing the Bengals, and they're favoring the Bengals as if their offense is just going to.
The one offense that hasn't blown up.
They've been sacked more than any team in the league.
And it's not only that. ESPN is giving the Dolphins a 20% chance to win this game. So if it's 4 points, why is it only 20%? I'm pretty shocked that it's 20%. I'm pretty shocked from the get-go that Cincy's favored.
Are they telling? If they're only doing that, they're favoring Cincy and giving them only 20-something% chance. Does that mean that they know Tua's not playing?
Well, I mean, I think that's where these early bettors are going to grab this 4 line. They're going to take they're going to sprinkle the money line. They're going to take the Dolphins +4. They're going to probably take the over because when it moves, when they say Tua's playing, that line's going to jump. It's probably going to go to even, if not Dolphins -3.
Right.
But that being said, is Tua the guy then, all of a sudden? I mean,
shit, he's having a good year. I mean, last game he didn't have but 100 and something yards, but he did go up against the best defense in the league that year. Still managed to win. Fought through what I thought was a concussion.
Easy.
And I don't know how.
That being said, he shouldn't have came back in.
Never should have. Never should have.
So if the ones that are thinking he's going to get suspended, I've done my research before this because this is one topic I wanted to hit. That they covered their tracks during halftime, doing the fact that he got hurt a minute, 2 minutes left at half, a minute left at half. They covered their tracks saying they did all their protocols at halftime. I don't see anybody getting blindsided with suspensions. Even if they do, they'll appeal them. That Tua is going to play this week, unless his back injury keeps him out.
Sure.
So that being said, I'm running wild with the Dolphins this week for my first pick. I think there's no doubt in my mind the Dolphins take this game tomorrow.
Yeah, and I'm with you there. I'm not I don't see anything to make me trust Cincy right now, especially not against a 3-0 Dolphins team. I'm going Dolphins on this.
But I will say, if Cincy wins this game, it's going to have to be through the run. If you take a player on the Dolphins, you're taking Tyreek. If you're taking a player for Cincy, you need Joe Mixon. I would say if this game is close, and if this game is going to be pushed to a battle of dual touchdowns or low scoring, it's going to be Joe Mixon for at least one touchdown, if not two.
I think, although I do like Joe Mixon, I think the player of the game for Cincy is going to be Higgins. I think he's going to have one of those.
They're going to have to avoid Xavier Howard. Xavier on that right side, so he'll be on Chase.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I think this is, and damn, but their defense looked good, man.
All around. I mean, Diggs had what, 2 catches, 3 catches? Don't quote me, but that's just.
Yeah,
you don't hold a.
And Josh threw it 60-something times.
Yeah, 63 times. There's no way and Singletary had a good game, so there's no way they're going to come out and throw that ball 60 times again.
I don't think you can. I think.
When do you start? You're going to start getting talked about. Hey, is this the only thing they can do?
Well, yeah, because think about it. He had 60-something passing attempts. How many times did he rush? You know what I mean? Are you telling me this guy's 70% of the time he's the one
touching
he's
the
the
ball?
main player?
Right.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You don't have any fucking run game that you can't run the ball a little bit. And they have a decent run game.
Yeah.
That's what's like they literally are so
Josh Allen.
I would be
Josh Allen single direct. And everything I've seen this week on the sports is, are they to Josh Allen?
I don't know. I still think they're badass. But here's the thing, and I can't contradict myself on this because if that's your best player, you got to live and die by your best player.
Yeah, I mean, just like you would in basketball.
Yeah.
So that being said, you have Josh Allen that ran the ball 8 times for 47 yards, but he also threw for 63.
So 71.
He had 1 less touch than Singletary, and I lied. The Singletary had the game last week. Singletary had 9 for 13. That's it.
Right.
However, he was their leading receiver at 9 for 78. This tells me the DBs in Miami are not a joke.
Right.
We saw what Josh did to multiple teams already.
But Josh did throw for 400 yards.
That's
too,
what I was about to say. Yeah, he threw for 400.
He did throw for 400.
But yeah, he threw the ball.
He drove down there. He
63.
just couldn't finish.
I tell you this, he completed 42 passes.
Right.
Some people aren't throwing the ball 42 times.
Right. Well, look at everybody said, Mac Jones. Oh my God, he threw the ball so much. He only threw 33 times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Did they overthrow? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he threw the ball 63 times.
And I think the closest I saw to that was 50, and that was by Joe Flacco. That man's arm's going to fall off.
Man, that's crazy.
I'm going to get to him for sure. So we're both going Dolphins first pick out the gate. Y'all can write them down. Y'all can get back with us. But we will cover ours every time.
And player of the game for Miami, I think, is Tyreek Hill. Player of the game for Cincy is Higgins.
Yeah.
That's my guesses. Yeah. That's my guess.
So the Vikings and Saints is going to kick off 8:30 a.m. Central Time, Texas time, because it is in London. To start off with that game, Winston got the day off Wednesday for practice for an injury to recover. I don't know how to read into that, but I'm thinking it was more or less that same injury he's been dealing with all year. But I think that it was more or less just a rest day. How far is the flight to London, and how much rest do you think he got there? I will tell you that Chris Olave finally had his game to break out last week. That's good to see from all fantasy owners because I think he's going to be a force to reckon with. With the Saints being really one of the most boring games, I think this week for me is to see the Vikings and the Saints. I will say that both defenses have kind of held in the 20 range, and the under-over for this game is 43, 43 and a half. This is another one I'd get on early. It's London. The fans are going to be pumped. This is a few times a year. So I'm obviously, this is my only bet here. I don't care who wins. I don't know who wins, but I'm going to go with, for sure, the over 43 and a half. Unless it's raining in London, which I don't keep up with the weather there, unfortunately. But I will say that we're talking about a Vikings team that squeaked by the Lions, who I obviously don't think is a joke this year.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, I think you picked the Lions to win that game.
Yeah, absolutely. We started off last week with our picks, and I think I came up on top because of the Dallas win. But I will say, straight out of the gate, I'm not going to cover a lot on this game. I just know that it's the first London game, and it's going to be bright and early for those that want to get up, have a coffee, and watch football. This is your week to do so.
Yep.
That being said, the ball was ran 35 times against the Vikings by the Lions for 139 yards and 2 touchdowns. My player of the game this week is Alvin Kamara. That right there shows me that they're going to be on the ground nonstop. Jameis is obviously dealing with something. Kamara hasn't had that breakout game. I'm going to take 1 touchdown receiving, 1 touchdown running. Alvin Kamara, player of the game. Dalvin Cook may not play. That's up in the air for this game.
Here we go with Dalvin Cook's shit again, just like last year.
Yeah.
He missed what, 4 games last year too, sporadically, not back to back to back 4 games.
Good amount.
He missed one this week, then played a couple games, missed one, played a game, missed one. Here we go, starts over again.
And while Kamara has been the one that missing games as well, he's questionable. But I think that he's good. I think he's just getting to that age where it's okay, like the NBA, to rest. But if Dalvin doesn't play, give me Matson all day in fantasy. Matson, however you say it, all day. I think both these teams. I don't know for sure. Let me go down here. Both these teams for rushing yards allowed is allowing 130 a game on both sides, average.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go with Minnesota on this one. And I might be being a little biased because I need Justin Jefferson to have a huge game in fantasy. Because he's fell off for 2 consecutive weeks. Yeah. He has played terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, and I don't know if him and Kirk are not on the same page. I don't know if he just can't get separation. I don't know if I don't think they figured him out. I think he's just going through those 2 games. Everybody goes through games like that.
I feel like this is his sophomore slump.
Sure.
Even though, I know he's been in the league, guys. I understand he's been there for this is his 3rd year. I do get that. I'm just saying it being the sophomore slump because last year he didn't have that. I do believe in a sophomore slump.
No, the guy had a great year. He had a great rookie year. He had a great second year. He's just...
I would take him over... he's in my top 5 this year, regardless of the years he's had.
He's just got to get going. To me, in my honest opinion, at the end of the year, it's going to be Stephon Diggs, right? Cooper Kupp, and Justin Jefferson for who's the best receiver in the league.
Man, I saw something. I'll get to that when we get to the Rams game, but Cooper Kupp was only picked by one person to have a career like this, and
Stephen A.
Yeah, no,
Stephen
Smith.
Stephen Smith.
He hit it dead on.
Yeah, he did.
Following, I won't keep y'all on that game too long. But because I do have to hit at least one more boring game to follow that one, and that is going to be the Browns at Falcons. While it is boring, there is a good amount going on for this game. You have Myles Garrett decided he wanted to flip his Porsche. I think that's what it was. In a single car crash, he has an injured shoulder and bicep, but he has cleared concussion protocol. I think that being said, at least he can have his time on the field, but I do think it will be, if he plays, it'll be digressed. It'll be 1st and 2nd down or only 3rd down. It won't be as much as it should be. I don't know if Clowney's back. Are you aware if he's going to play this year at all?
I have no idea what's going on with Clowney, and this has been a thing. As of late, this has been his main topic when we talk about Jadeveon Clowney.
When is he
going to play? What is he? Is he going to be there when he plays the next week? Is he?
Yeah.
You know, this might be the time that he needs to go ahead and hang it up after this year. I mean, and he's such a great talent. But after this year, I don't see anybody else wanting to take that gamble.
The fact that he's been in the NFL for, 5 years now, and he's still recognized for that. Maybe it's been longer, but still recognized for that Michigan hit. You take that by the teeth and say a one-hit wonder, but
no, he's not. He's a great talent.
Yeah,
he is a great talent.
But was he ever good with no one on the other side of him?
He made his name. He made his name before he got with Myles Garrett.
Who do you have on the other side of him?
I don't remember.
So not Watt in Houston? Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was J.J.
So maybe, but I think he's still.
And we can't say that because how many games did J.J. miss? And Jadeveon Clowney was still there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He missed a lot of games, and Clowney still made a name for himself.
I think that the Browns are one of my personal underrated teams of the year. And I think I say that for the friends of mine that watch me. I think I say that every year. And yeah, it's because I was a Baker fan. But now it's like we're doing this with a backup quarterback in Jacoby Brissett who's trying to continuously make his name for himself. But that's obviously not their number one quarterback.
You know what's funny is I got Cleveland winning this game. Cleveland's number one in that division right now. Okay, ahead of Lamar right now. The standings. He is number one over Baltimore.
Yeah.
Cleveland is over Baltimore. Cleveland wins this week, which I think they beat Atlanta. They win this week, and Baltimore loses to Buffalo like we think they are.
People finally start talking about.
We're like, okay, why did you just pay Deshaun Watson this much money? Right, and the guy just had a year off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. A year and a half, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I didn't like the sign I didn't like the sign at all. Them signing him, I didn't like it. It's just a lot of time to miss from football. Football's not like riding a bike, man. That 1 year off kills.
Especially being the captain, the main guy, the guy. I mean, that's like pitching in the MLB. It's like being the point guard in the NBA.
Right.
You're touching the ball every play.
Right.
Jacoby has almost 600 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception on the year. It is what we call the superstars of backup quarterbacks.
Sure. Remember, he was our third string.
Yeah,
Tom, Jimmy, and then he was.
He started for my Colts for a year, and he didn't do bad. He got hurt because he got popped, and he got scared the rest of the year. But otherwise than that, he showed out. He's proved his point. That being said, I'm also on the Browns this week. I know I didn't give mine last pick. I'm also going to ride with the Saints. He's riding with the Vikings. No, I missed it. So we're going to go.
Did we do player? Player of the game
tomorrow,
for me for the Saints. For Minnesota is Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I'm going to ride with Madsen. Like I said, both running backs this week. I think there's going to be a lot of heavy running in that game in London. But I'm going to go the Browns here. And I'm gonna go. Amari Cooper is gonna have 2 more touchdowns this week. I don't think the Falcons' defense is gonna be able to keep up.
Man, he looks so good.
But
the fact that the Browns got him for a 5th round pick, they should be throwing a party every fucking day. And the fact that Dallas gave him up for only a 5th round pick,
we've seen that a lot.
You know what I mean?
We've seen a lot of undermining. I would call it undermining trades. I mean,
Stephon Gilmore to Carolina last year for a 6th round pick. Keep in mind you, the year before that he played the whole year, he was in the 99 overall club.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Yeah. Man, I tell you what, though, Cordero Patterson's looking like a superstar this year.
Does look good.
I mean, 49 carries for 302 yards, no fumbles, 2 touchdowns.
Right.
That doesn't even show us his receiving yards because Drake London is getting the brunt of all that, and he looks good. I don't think Mariota's the guy. As much as I am a believer in Mariota, I think I don't think they're going to get blown out, but I think if he makes the mistakes, he already has 3 picks with only 3 touchdowns this year. It's time to test that theory in Desmond Ridder.
Man, as much as I like Mariota, because I love Oregon. Man, you're right. But I don't think it's the quarterback. I think it's the whole just the whole team, the whole organization, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I really...
Can they lean heavy enough on Patterson to push him through, multiple wins?
I'm not being biased. Since the Patriots took them down, bro, That organization has
been
been
hurt.
shit.
Yeah, they've been hurt.
That Super Bowl hurt them.
Since that, they actually are a below 500 organization.
That Super Bowl hurt them.
Yeah.
Bad.
I am going Browns, and I am going Cooper. But if the Falcons put a lot of offense forth, it's going to be Patterson. And I think it's Patterson, and that's the only way the Falcons can win this game. Especially if Garrett's out.
It is. Well, you're right, though, man. I mean, as much as we like Drake London, Cordero's he's the engine over there.
I mean,
he is. He's a great talent.
There's a backup
I hate
generator.
that we got rid of him.
Everybody needs a backup generator, and that's your heart. And I tell you what, Patterson's the heart.
Absolutely. But I like Browns. I like Browns, and I like Amari Cooper also.
Yeah.
Player of the game.
This is the hometown team for us. Not that either of us are a fan, but we do have the Commanders at Cowboys. Man, there's a lot to cover in this game, and I know everybody's going to be up the DMs and blowing up the comment section for this one, but you cannot start Dak until Cooper Rush loses a game.
I think you have to start Dak. Here's the thing: even though Teddy Bridgewater came in and went 5-0, when Drew Brees came back, Drew Brees, you're starting. That's still his team.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? And Teddy Bridgewater came in 5-0. He came in and won 5 straight games. You know,
that's a good point. I mean,
you even though he does a great job. Hey, I'm paying this guy millions, and he's my franchise.
Back that money
you're
aspect.
playing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Cooper's not throwing an interception. Mindfully, he's only throwing 2 touchdowns. But if their defense can hold like they've been playing, the defensive line can hold like that, Carson Wentz is in trouble.
Right.
Right. While I am a Cowboys hater, you can call me.
I am not.
You can call me the Stephen A. of YouTube.
Damn.
I just want to let you know I'm coming for the Cowboys every week, but I will be here to support that defensive line. The way it's built is something special. I know the DBs are good, but I think the DBs are good because the arrogant throws that this defensive line can cause.
That's so true, man. That defense looked badass. I mean, I know they gave up the long run, the 30-something yard run to Saquon for that touchdown, but man, one thing I can tell you about defenses travel, man. And Dallas has a defense that will travel. They will play good anywhere they are because of that guy,
Quinn.
Micah Parsons.
Well, Quinn, the defensive coordinator, is not a joke.
No, absolutely.
I love the way he's changed him. Yes, Micah is that.
He's that guy.
But he's that generational talent, and they're not wasting it.
Absolutely.
He's saying, I want to play DN, I want to play linebacker, I want to play DT. Like, I'm there. And they said, okay.
Right. And can you imagine how many sacks he'd get if they just, hey, go get the quarterback every time?
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Oh, my
But I
God.
think that's the reason that JJ didn't have the career, because they said that. Go get this. And he's like, ow.
What do you mean? JJ had a great career.
No. But I think how much better it could have been. I mean, he's one of the greatest to do it. Don't get me wrong. But you can see the wear and tear it's torn his body right now.
Sure.
And then I want to go to the other side of the ball, or other team. Chase Young. I mean,
what a great talent.
he was supposed to be this phenom.
Yeah.
But he's already started the injury train.
Yeah, man.
I didn't keep up with him in college if he was on the same train there, but you don't hear his name like we thought we were going to hear. Montez Sweat, like that Commanders line was built to go right now, and I have not seen them do that this year.
Right.
I think Carson Wentz is in trouble this week, and that you won't hear me say this every week, but not only do I think Dallas wins this game, I don't even know what they're favored by or if they're favored.
No, Washington's favored.
Give me Dallas money line. Give me over 41.5. I do think you're going to get Dallas has been waiting for this all year. You're going to get a kick return by Turpin this week. I think they're finally. I saw him return a punt. I think 2 weeks ago that looked dirty. He's going to break out for one, and it's going to be a celebration. And then that defense is only going to ride their skirt tails after that. I would not be scared to start Dallas's defense against the Commanders. I think Diggs got that first pick last week, and it's only going to be dangerous after that because Carson does not get out of the pocket.
Let me tell you why I think you're absolutely right about. You're right about this Dallas defense. Is that they're going to kill Washington defensively. If Philadelphia can do that to Carson Wentz and them, Dallas's defense, they're liable to have 6 sacks.
They had 6 last
And
week.
2 picks.
6 or 7 last week.
And 2 picks.
Yeah.
Mark my words. 6 sacks, 2 picks.
It wouldn't shock me.
No.
And if you're a fantasy owner of the Dallas defense, hey, start them. If you're not, go get them.
Absolutely.
Trade for them. I'm a big fan of them and my own defense this week, but I'll get to that. So yeah, I think if you're going to start anybody, I would not be shocked if the number 1 defense scoring wise in fantasy is Dallas this week.
Right.
And then give me, my player of the week for that game is going to be Dallas's defense. And then if I had to go Commanders, I mean, I would probably go anyone except for Carson Wentz. Maybe Gibson, because we did see some glimpses of running this week that Saquon let up, but that's Saquon Barkley.
I don't see Washington winning this game, but if they did, the player of the game for me would be Curtis Samuel. Terry McLaurin's going to have his hands full with Diggs if they decide to make him travel this week.
Man, I like Joanna Dotson too. I mean, I did personally just traded him in my fantasy league, but yeah, I like that kid. I mean, he reminds me of honestly of Lockett. He goes and gets the ball. He's quick. His routes are clean. He reminds me of Lockett, but I don't know if he'll ever be a superstar.
He's just in a bad place, man.
Yeah.
That's the problem with these great talents. You know.
Could you imagine though? Like, I love Carson Wentz. Obviously, he was with us last year. I think it would have been smart for us to give him another year. I don't think he's the guy, but I think Bryce Young is. And if the Commanders slip up, Bryce Young to the Commanders could be something serious.
What do you like Bryce?
Oh yeah. He proved me wrong whenever he avoided that sack against Texas week 2 and broke off for the first down run. I don't think that was a tackling issue through Texas. I think that kid saw him coming, ducked him, and said, "Watch me, come get me." And he can throw on the run, and he proved that last year. I think he's out there to prove, hey, I have QBR here. I'm not only just an arm.
Sure.
I mean, we saw games he threw for 500 yards last year.
Right.
Now he's out here slinging, moving, dancing. So, I would look out for maybe a quarterback move by Commanders because I think they're in the same position as the Colts.
But Carson Wentz is he did have a great first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
He just went up, he just played arguably the hottest team in the NFL right now in Philly. I mean, arguably, I don't think they are, but arguably, or maybe they are the hottest team in the league right now. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Devontae Smith, he'll go off one week. A.J. Brown will go off at the same fucking time, or one week A.J. Brown will go off.
And you can't count out Watson.
Smith will be I know it.
Watson he's that slot receiver that people look for, and he never gets picked up. He never gets looked at. In a 12-man league, you better go get Quez Watson.
Sure. Yeah.
Because he's going to be something serious this week for sure. He's going to be needed because that Vikings defense obviously isn't a joke, or that Jacksonville defense isn't a joke. Sorry.
No. Look for Miles Sanders to have a big game. Is he okay?
I don't know. I'm going to have to get to that one. And give me Dallas. Give me Dallas' defense. I won't give you a Commanders player. I guess Gibson, but besides that, I don't do this often, but I think Dallas runs this game.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm with you. I think Micah Parsons has 3 sacks. I think Micah Parsons has 3 sacks.
For the hometown, I hope people start talking about this kid. Obviously, they're thrilled to have him, but I hope he ends it like a Michael Strahan chasing the records.
Sure.
Sure. I just hope that he has that career because I'm tired of. We haven't seen it yet, but I'm tired of Texas talent getting paid and just
shitting the bed,
falling off.
Yeah.
So that being said, on to the next game would be. I know, guys, it's a boring one. It's another cover of a boring game. I'm sorry, but it's the Seahawks at Lions. While it is boring, it isn't boring.
It's boring.
Yeah, I thought week 1 and 2 the Lions did not look bad. I really hope they pan out, man. I'm actually hoping the Lions turn into something.
I think you say that because you love the coach. And how can you not?
Yeah. Hey, like, if you watch Pat McAfee, shout out, like MCDC, all the things they throw about this guy, just makes you love him. He drinks a gallon of coffee a day. Like, this dude goes. He loves the game, man.
Yeah.
And then the Vikings, I think they snuck by with that win against Detroit. I don't think they earned it. I think they should be 2-1 right now. I think they should be, honestly, I think they gave Philly a run for their money. They just got started too late. They almost handed Philly that ass in week 1, and Philly was shocked.
Oh, everybody was shocked that we knew the Eagles were going to be contenders this year.
Yeah.
We all knew that. They had a great draft. They've been building this team.
Yeah.
They've been building this team. So we knew they were going to be competitive. And then when we seen that Lions put up that many, we were like, wow. So, I mean, yeah, it shocked us that they put up that many. Then they put up 36, right? And then
on what I think is a bad Washington defense. So, but I think that.
But they put up 98 points in 3 games. That's a lot of fucking points, man. That's over 30-something points a game.
I think
at some point you got to blame it on your defense.
Yeah.
At what point do we blame it on the defense?
Yeah, I think Jared Goff has showed that he can win and he can put up the stats, but he could never finish with the Rams. And obviously Stafford got in there and finished the job. But I think Jared Goff found his spot. My boy Trevor told me that Jared wasn't a joke, and I think he's hit this one right on the money.
Right.
I mean, we're talking, he has thrown the ball 112 times. That's nothing compared to 63 times from 1 week, but 748 yards, 7 touchdowns. He has thrown 2 picks. I have seen one of the picks, I believe, was tipped, so I don't think, that's kind of where you change the stat sheet. Like, my quarterback threw a pick, but it was touched by 4 people. How was it his fault?
Right.
748 yards.
But his passer rating, is it in the 60s?
Oh, I'm not.
66 of 112. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But then you go to the other side of the ball, or other team, same side of the ball. I mean, yeah, it's bad because you're looking at a 79 for 102 from Geno Smith.
Right.
I mean, so yeah,
his
completion
23
rating,
incompletions?
Yeah,
79 for 102 is 23 incompletions.
And then you're 717 yards, but he's only thrown 4 touchdowns.
Right.
I still think he's dealing with a top 5 receiver in Seahawks. I don't think
DK.
Yeah.
DK's a great talent. I love DK. I just think they're fucking off some really good years of his not getting him a QB.
Yeah, I think that Lockett is actually their leading receiver, but that's because that's the team that you find that has the 2 sides of the ball, or 2 guy on each side that you're like, which way do we go?
It's because Geno can't get DK the ball where he wants it, man. He can't get it downfield.
Yeah.
Lockett can do it.
How entertaining would we see Cheetah versus DK in a race? That would be so much fun. It'd have to be 100 yards.
It has to be 100 yards. Cheetah get him in a 40.
Yeah.
But 100 yards, I'd like to see it. Man,
he hunted that grown man down 2 years ago. Hunted him.
Buda Baker?
Boy, I'm a Buda fan.
Yeah.
And he hunted him.
And Buda's not slow.
No. He looked back and said, huh?
Right. But we've also seen Tyreek Hill 25-yard gap and go get somebody to celebrate with him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sprint next to his guy just to look at him.
Chunking deuces up.
Yeah.
Right, not even really running.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
I think those are the 2 guys we're talking like fastest in the league in 100 yards.
Right.
I would love to see that. But give me the Lions, and give me Jamal Williams, the running back, because I don't think Swift is playing this week. That's another one that we're talking about the same thing as Cook. I do personally think that Swift is going to be out. He is questionable. But I think it's time for him to sit out this game. I think they have a bye next week. I'm not 100%, obviously. But I think it's time. Let's take a break. Get all the way healthy and then come back.
Right. I'm with you, though. I'm taking the Lions, but I'm going Brown as player of the game.
Amon?
Yeah, I'm going to go him. He's having a good year.
Yeah,
having a really good year.
And it obviously shows that Goff likes to throw the ball. So
sure,
that's not a bad little thing to look at.
Right, and with the backup running back, even though it is Jamal Williams, and I think he's a great talent, I think they might be pass heavy this week.
And I will say he did run the ball for 12 or 13 times. He only had 89 yards.
Right.
But he had the 2 touchdowns.
He had 2 tutties, yeah.
So I would look for run heavy in the red zone. But yeah, I wouldn't run shy of the pass all the way down the field.
Yeah.
So we're going to run the same teams. We're going to on the same. I think we only had one disagreement so far. We're going to go back in this and we'll make sure everything's written down. That way we can, check our stats after the week.
Right.
But away from the boring. Well, unfortunately, Demo's going to say this one's boring too. But we're going to have the next 3 games look like they're boring. But
oh my God!
The Titans, Colts.
Oh my God!
So
Is there college football on that day, please?
Actually, weirdly enough, there is.
Oh, thank God.
There actually is going to be a game moved because of the hurricane.
Yeah.
Pray for people in Florida.
Where did they say it was going to go?
I think they're just moving it just to a different part of Florida.
Now they go. Okay.
And it's the Gators versus somebody. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Okay.
I got Tennessee at Indianapolis. The reason I think non-bias, and I will never give you biased picks on here. Non-bias, the Colts win this game because they're at home and because Shaq Leonard is back this week.
I picked the Colts defense up on my fantasy,
top
man.
I don't care. He's a top 5 linebacker in the league. Regardless of bias, that kid is something special. You don't cause that many fumbles in your career this early.
Yep.
I would look for Micah Parsons and Shaq Leonard to run this linebacker game for the next while.
Yeah, and I love Leonard coming back. He was the main reason I think I picked up the Colts defense in fantasy this week because they have a good run defense, and Derrick Henry, man, that guy's back, man. Have fun. That guy is back on the field, Leonard. So you're going to have your hands full, Henry. You're both going to have your hands full. But I like Colts here.
Yeah.
I like Colts here by a lot, I think.
And just to fathom, as a Colts fan, I didn't even know this blindsided me, but we have the most attempts rushed against us, and we allowed 2.6 yards a carry.
Yeah.
That's something special because we got handed to us. I personally think Trevor Lawrence is that guy, and I think he's trying to prove it to people right now.
How do you disagree?
I think that we slipped up the first 2 weeks not having our defensive captain. That's not to say we're going to make a run, but we're going to win our division.
Him last weekend.
Yeah.
They're one of the highest, the highest power offense. I would, one of.
Yeah.
Right, and you shut them down. You held them to 14, or how many points do you hold them to?
Off the top of my head,
17-14, I believe score was, something like that.
Yeah, I think the final for 17-20.
17-20. Yeah.
So that being
Jesus, you held them to 17 points, man.
Yeah.
To hold Mahomes to that, that's good. And you didn't have your captain there. You're only going to get better now.
Yeah.
And
Gilmore didn't play the whole third quarter.
He shut Chelsea down.
Yeah, but when he was in, they even covered it mid-game. They were like, wow.
Right.
Gilmore is the best traveling cornerback in the league. You can't argue it anymore.
Dog.
To say the least.
Dog.
So yeah, we average 100. We allowed 77 yards per game rushed against us. Allowed. To put that into perspective, the Tennessee Titans allow 145 average a game. If you're a Jonathan Taylor owner, this is that week. You don't hold the best in the league every week. This is that week. We're talking 170 and 2 touchdowns, guys. I'm not playing games.
I'm being biased because I have him in fantasy, and he's been killing me in fantasy. So I really do agree with him, and statistically, he's supposed to have a huge game. He hasn't had one in 2 games, and he's going up against a defense that allows a lot of rushing yards. Look for a 30-point game from this guy.
Yeah. I think he's projected 21, if not 22 on a lot of these. Obviously, that is biased for me. I guess I have to say that out loud, but he's still my dog on my team.
But you're right on, even though you're being biased because it's your team.
Maybe we've been holding back for this. He got 30 touches week 1. I think he had like 15, 16 week 3, and he had 9 week 2. We're talking another 30-touch game. Yeah, I don't think you have a choice.
Right.
And I think that goes to your point of saying they put the ball in Matt Ryan's hands to win that game. I think this goes to show, hey, we did that, but we have to realize that this is still our guy.
Right.
So you might be right, and if he comes out and slings that thing 50 times, and us Colts fans and owners are
going to be sick.
We're going to be in trouble. Yeah.
Y'all are going to be sick. I told him last week, the worst thing for the Colts organization was Matt Ryan winning that game, driving down the field like that, winning that game. Because now, in my belief, they're going to be very pass heavy now. Frank Wright, in my opinion, is all about him. He wants to be the guy that said, yeah, he did that. He got this.
I did that with everybody on my team.
Right. He wants to be that guy and not allow Jonathan Taylor to be the guy who he is. So I think they're going to be pass heavy now after that, which I think is absurd.
Yeah.
But
you got to get Jonathan Taylor at minimum 25 touches a game.
Absolutely.
You just do. I don't care if he gets 20 attempts out the backfield, but another 6, 7 in the pass game. He has to get that many touches. Yeah, and you saw week 2. I think we got pass heavy. We were down by a lot quick, so we had to kind of get pass heavy. But if you're average and supposed to be and projected the best running back in the league, you don't get 9 touches in 1 catch. That doesn't win you a ball game. The same reason we saw Dallas go away from Zeke and they started getting in trouble. These guys are generational talents. It's like the Angels with Mike Trout and Ohtani. You can't waste these guys' careers.
No, you can't.
Man.
You can't.
Baseball's a different subject because it leads to multiple players having to play.
Right.
But
Well,
like you hear, yeah, it's trouble.
Like you said about the Zeke situation. I know we're going off the game that we're talking about for a second, but like you said about Zeke, that's another Frank Rice. Kellen Moore wants to be so quarterback heavy because he's a quarterback guy. Okay, and now he's the
so is
offensive
Frank
coordinator.
Reich.
Yeah, they want to be so quarterback. I got the quarterback to do this instead of letting their badass running backs be who they are.
And now
Dallas,
Zeke's got
another
2.
guy supposed to have 20 plus touches a game.
Yeah.
He's supposed to. That's how they will succeed in the long run.
You realize that, I mean, how many plays we get a game, right? So if you're talking, they had Buffalo off the top of my head, so they threw the ball 63 times. They
Did
ran
they
the
have
ball.
100 plays?
So you're talking about a high-end offense, right?
That's crazy.
So say you had 70 plays.
No, it's Josh Allen
No,
had
no.
71 by
Right.
himself.
Say you had 70 plays as an offense, as Dallas, as the Colts. You need to be running the ball at least 40 to 45 times that whole game. With Dallas, 45 because you got Zeke and Pollard.
Yeah.
With the Colts, you have Hines and Taylor. That Hines could carry 7 times and catch 7 times. You got to hit those running backs that many times to win a ball game. Whenever you're that running back led.
Right. Right. Yeah, I agree with you, but I kind of disagree too because I like when Taylor's out there over Hines.
Yeah, but I mean,
I get he needs a break every now and then, but here's the deal: when he goes off the field, you're supposed to create plays for Pittman.
Yeah,
you're not supposed to create plays for Hines.
Well, but you can do the screens.
Sure.
And that gets the ball out of, and that goes back to Cordero Patterson and Matt Ryan leading with the screens to that guy. That guy was scary in the screen game. So if Hines can show him that, he'll get more of a safe haven on laying it down, which Wentz couldn't do last year.
Right.
Give me Colts. Give me Colts defense. Give me Jonathan Taylor. I think that, unfortunately, it looks biased on my end because it's a game, but I
agree.
Yeah, I don't think the Titans are that team. I think Tannehill is going to lose his job before the season's over, regardless of the year he's had.
Malik.
I want to see Malik's talent, so maybe it's a little biased to me wanting to see Tennessee lose because I think Malik could have been a Colt and would have been our backup, and Nick Foles needs to carry on and go somewhere.
You want to see him go? Where do you want to see
I
him?
just want him gone. I want Sam Ellinger to be the backup in case Matt Ryan gets hurt. We need a dual-threat quarterback, and Nick Foles ain't the guy. Nick Foles was the guy, and this is not being rude to you, but Nick Foles was the guy against the Patriots for one-hit wonder. He's a great backup, but it showed during the preseason. You got to go. You learn to call it. Learn to not be Brett Favre and keep coming back. Learn to call it.
Right.
There's the game right there. Florida's leaving against Eastern Michigan. They moved to Sunday.
Oh, damn.
So give me the Colts, and I think we agree on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And player of the game, Jonathan Taylor, all day.
That being said, on to what I think is
Another boring
but a wild. It could come out of nowhere, right? Both these teams are 2-1, and I don't think either of us saw it happening. The Bears at the Giants. While Dallas handed it to Daniel Jones, and as many times as they got back there, Daniel kept his poise in the pocket. I mean, he really didn't have too bad of a game until the very fourth quarter. He threw that ugly pick, but that was caused by Dallas's defensive line. But Justin Fields is not the guy. I'm in fantasy with him as my backup, begging for one good week, and might end up leaving it before that even bye week comes up for the Bills or for the Ravens. I have Lamar. I'm going to ride with Lamar unless he gets hurt. But I think it's
You better get ready to get on that waiver.
Yeah, Justin Fields is not the guy. He's about to lose my team, and he's my backup. I mean, maybe it's his offensive line, because I will agree that an offensive line makes your team. But we're talking about Khalil Herbert ran for 150 last week. So where do you draw the line of it's not our offensive line? It's got to be something else.
Yeah, I think they've had problems for a long time. The Bears have had some problems for a long time. And they just keep switching everything. They get Khalil. Oh, great. We're going to have a great season. We got these pieces. Khalil's gone in a couple years. Yeah. You know what I mean? They keep quarterback after quarterback after quarterback after quarterback. That whole that whole organization is just, I don't know what.
It could come down to weapons too. Maybe Justin is a bad man, but we're talking like Amon's brother, Eculius. I can't say his name, but St. Brown. He is their leading receiver. I don't think this man has weapons either. They're going to go get weapons. They're going to get in the draft. They're obviously going to be a top 5 pick, probably. Well, 2-1, it doesn't look like it, but I would imagine they're going to be top 10, top 5, and they're going to go get a receiver. Somebody like Ohio State's Smith, it would be a good pickup for them.
Yeah, their leading receiver has 4 receptions, 77 yards, and 1 touchdown. That's their leading receivers. We played 3 games, guys.
Yeah, that's insane. I
Yeah,
mean,
how in the fuck are they 2-1?
Stat. Yeah, that's a 1-game stat. I mean,
absolutely. How the fuck are they 2-1?
You're talking about they the only game they lost was against Houston. Was against Green Bay, and that was a demolishing game. But they beat Houston last week.
But Green Bay, I mean, if you picked Chicago to win that game against Green Bay, you were donating your money.
Yeah.
If Aaron Rodgers is in Green Bay, I'm betting the house that Aaron Rodgers is probably going to. I don't care if we rehash this conversation in 4 years.
Yeah.
He's probably going to beat them every time he plays them.
When he said he owned them, he wasn't joking.
He wasn't.
Give me the Giants.
Yeah.
And I'm going to shock everybody and give me the Giants defense.
Wow. Give me Saquon for a Jonathan Taylor type of day.
Yeah.
Give me the Giants and a Saquon for a big day. Saquon is showing this year, hey, man, if I'm on the field, I'm a problem. You better watch your film. That's what he's telling everybody.
He said at the beginning, I didn't have the games that I wanted to last year. I wasn't on the field. He said, I'm coming. I'm coming.
Yeah.
Just know that.
And if he stays healthy, we're looking at a top 5 running back.
Yeah.
I mean, we are.
I would take Saquon over Derrick Henry any day. That's obviously I'm a Derrick Henry hater. While he is great, when people figured out that his kneecaps are the way to tackle, he hasn't looked good. He had one good game and it wasn't even over 100 yards last week. I think that Saquon and Nick Chubb and Jonathan Taylor are my top 3 running backs in the league this year by the end of it. Nick Chubb is something serious. While I didn't cover that on the Cleveland game, I still think Nick Chubb is something dangerous. But he's just it's like a 60-40 running back with Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, that's the big problem. That's why I don't like Pollard or Zeke in my fantasy, and that's why I don't even like the Patriot running backs, Ramondre Stevenson and Damian Harris.
Yeah,
because last week we saw Ramondre go off,
and I wouldn't be shocked if we saw Harris do it this week.
That's what I'm saying. You never know. But why I hate that for fantasy, I love it. I love it for the actual NFL.
Right.
I love it that I don't just have one. I'm not one dimensional. You know what I mean? I love that I've got 2-headed monster, in my opinion, and I'm biased.
Yeah.
But they're 2 great running backs. If you watch those guys run, they are good running backs.
Yeah, I think I'm going Giants.
Me too.
Yeah, I think the next game is our game of the week. Preferably, I would say, for some people, but I don't know. I think we still early. Let me quote all of these early predictions because all of this is early NFL, and if you've been a bettor, if you've seen and kept up with it, this NFL this year is something crazy.
I cannot tell you what any of these teams are going to be in 3 weeks. I could not. Every prediction I've made could so easily be wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a toss-up this year for me. I think
as of right now, and I think we talked about this going on before we went on the air of saying that.
It's so competitive.
Bye week. Yeah, the bye weeks. Once we get to bye weeks, we'll have to be able to figure out more.
Right.
It is hard to do a sports, trip podcast on any of this because we don't know. I mean, it could definitely change, but we're going to go week by week and try to run the show with you guys. That being said, Jacksonville at Philly.
You're taking Jacksonville?
No, I'm going to keep going with Philly. I think their defense is going to expose who I said is the guy. I still think Trevor Lawrence is the guy, but he's going to throw that first pick this week. And if he doesn't, then I'm going to keep being wrong on Jacksonville. But I did, however, pick them to get second in our division behind us. When the season started, I said they were underrated. I said Tennessee was overrated, and I said Houston was terrible. I still think that's the case. I still think the Colts win their division. I don't care if we lost 24-0. The Colts win the division by at least 2 games, and Jacksonville will finish second. Trevor Lawrence did throw his pick. I'm sorry, he has 1 pick on the year. But he has a 70% completion rating.
Yeah, that guy is... he's proving me wrong because I wasn't high on him at all.
Yeah. I think he's learning how to be good without a great offensive line. He got stuck in first couple years trying to learn that Clemson was a force behind that badass offensive line.
But they have been building that team, though.
Yeah.
And then they bring in my opinion, a really good coach in Doug Peterson.
Oh,
I think he's a great coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, they've been building this team. This team isn't just sparked out of nowhere.
Yeah. And that Doug comment's coming from a Patriots fan, so I know that hurts.
Yeah.
I mean,
hey, he beat Bill. You know, I got with a backup quarterback. I got to show you
and a
respect.
trick play.
I got to show you some type of respect, man.
Still, I think this is going to come down to the two games that Dallas and the Eagles play. Whoever wins that division, I don't think it's a given to the Eagles yet. I think the Eagles are a problem, but I don't think it's a given to them yet.
I think it is.
Well,
Because I think when Dak comes back healthy, there's going to be so much tension in that fucking locker room. If he comes back and loses that game, that they're going to what Jerry said he wanted, a quarterback controversy. He comes back that first game and loses badly, you're going to have one.
bad one.
You're going to have a
An
QB
issue.
controversy, and it's going to fuck with your team.
Yeah.
Because your team's going to say, man, fuck, do we rally behind the guy that we're paying millions and millions of dollars to? Or do we rally behind the guy that's fucking winning?
He comes out and he loses that game to Philly because I think Dak comes back for the Philly game. Don't count on him to come back anytime before that.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
He got to come back for the Philly game. If he loses that game, regardless, I know Dak is the guy. I got it. I know he's the guy. I know he's the one we paid. But I promise you, if he loses that game and it's bad, there will be a trade rumor. It's just part of the NFL. Don't believe the rumors, but there will be that rumor, and that will be the thing that messes up that locker room because that's going to be 3 weeks before the trade deadline.
Yep, absolutely. Man, I think I like Philly. I think I like Philly here. I need to see
Miles
AJ.
is playing. He was not on the injured list today.
Okay, good. Now that's another Dalvin Cook situation, DeAndre Swift situation to keep your eye on throughout the year.
Yeah.
He's just so little, man.
Yeah.
But give me Philly, man. Give me Philly and give me AJ Brown for player of the game.
They're going to keep switching off.
That's what's
receivers.
crazy, man. Is like they said Devontae Smith had a great game. He did, but AJ Brown had a good game too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So and those guys, I could see them getting going.
I mean, we're talking Jalen Hurts. Everybody was like, man, he's not the guy. My man's thrown for almost 1K already this year.
Right.
He's at 916 yards.
Yeah, the man's balling.
And after everything we've said,
He's got to be leading the league.
And more than what we think, except for maybe touchdowns, right?
Right.
We're talking 77 for 111 from Trevor Lawrence. Pretty solid.
Absolutely.
Okay. 66 for 98, 916 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. If you were to read those stats, it wouldn't become Jalen Hurts' name if you haven't watched football.
Well, that's a 70% plus percentage completion, isn't it?
I think it's just under 70, like 69 point something.
Okay, that's still great.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay.
Especially for not throwing the ball as much as we talked about. So, yeah.
Well, he's thrown the ball 100 times and he's got 1 pick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Trevor Lawrence is throwing 111 with 1 pick.
Yeah.
I think you don't shy towards Trevor this game because I don't think the Eagles' offense is winning them. Why they look great, it's because they're on the field so much because that Eagles' defense is serious too.
That's what I was just going to get to, guys. These, outside of the Lions game.
Which was all in the fourth quarter, second half.
Okay, yeah. Dude, this Eagles defense shut down Justin Jefferson like who were you? Like he was a rookie, okay? And then they come back and shut down Carson Wentz and the Commanders who have been hot.
And have 4 receivers.
Right.
I mean, 4 due diligence receivers that you have to watch tape on.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that who's ever running that defense, Doug's there. That's all that matters. He's doing his right, and he's running the right defense because these guys are having fun. They love playing together. A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts wanted to be together for more than what we know because they were at each other's. I think Jalen was at A.J.'s house whenever he was drafted. They didn't go to school together, so they can't say, oh, they were together at school. No, they went to different schools. They just wanted to be together.
Right.
So they're having fun, man. And if you're having fun, you're winning ball games. As you see, Jacksonville's having fun. They're winning ball games. I don't think that Jacksonville is who they're showing right now. I just really don't.
Well, I love that this is my game of the week because I'm ready to see.
We're gonna find out who's real.
I'm ready to see if it was Doug Peterson or if it was Jalen Hurts. You know?
Yeah,
that's
true too. Doug's
I'm
going
ready
back to
to
his
see
team.
that.
Yeah.
I'm ready to see that. You're coming back. You're coming back. I'm ready to see it. It's interesting. You know?
Give me the Eagles. I don't know if they cover the 6.5, but I can tell you under 47. Give me the Eagles.
Yeah, I
and
like
give
that.
me
I like under.
Give me Jalen Hurts. I think he runs for one and throws for one, but I think it's going to be like a 21-10 ball game.
Right. I think I'm gonna go Philly here. As much as I like Doug, I think I'm gonna go with the hot hand, guys. I'm gonna go with the hot hands only because I don't necessarily trust Trevor just yet. I need to see some more. So yeah, I'm gonna ride with Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown for player of the game.
I'm going to, stepping off into muddy water because you don't know what to expect in this Jets-Steelers game. While it could be a boring game, we're talking Zach's back.
Dog.
Yeah, MILF Hunter.
Milf.
MILF Hunter. He's back. But the Steelers' defense, while they haven't shown a lot, they've been on the field a lot because Trubisky's definitely not the guy.
No.
But they're still, they let up a lot to Cleveland. But they held New England to 14. They held Cincinnati to 20. Or they held New England to 17 and Cincinnati to 20. But that just shows I think Cleveland is a solid team, and I think the Patriots defense, the Pittsburgh defense is solid. I do. I think they're not very great without Watt because he's their bus driver,
he's the fucking engine of that motherfucker. Without him, that car ain't going nowhere.
But if Zach comes out and tries to be Zach and throw that ball, I'd look for Mika Fitzpatrick to have 2 picks at least, if not a 1 concussion on somebody.
He needs to do something. He's the highest paid player on that defense right now.
Man, he's something serious. I love him. I've always been a Fitzpatrick fan. You'll always hear me say, whenever we bring up the Steelers defense, you're going to hear that name from me because I think he hits, I think he ball hawks, and I think he loves the game, and you just don't see that a lot by every safety in the league anymore.
Yeah, but Steelers are always known to have those dogs on defense.
Yeah,
they
at
have
least
those
one.
dogs.
Give me the Steelers, and give me the Steelers to cover the 3.
Yeah, give me Steelers and give me Deontay Johnson.
Steelers defense. I'm a defensive rider, as y'all can see already. Whenever a defense is going to show, Zach is going to be the Jets guy. That's plain and simple. If they would, get that boy Denzel Mims on the field,
Got to get him there. Denzel, got to.
If they could get him on the field, maybe they'd have a number 1 receiver. But right now, they have a bunch of number 2s. But I still think a quarterback change is in order for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pickett needs his chance. I don't care if he has small hands, small feet. He has a D1 scholarship and drafted in the first or second round, whatever it was. You got to get him on the field.
Right.
Trubisky has proved over and over and over again. You throw the ball 103 times for only 2 touchdowns. You got to make a change. You got to be a winning coach. And as we know, Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season, so you might want to get a new quarterback before you end up having that one.
Absolutely. And it's like I've told you before. This is the perfect time. You're not winning with Trubisky. This is the perfect time to get your rookie quarterback in there and gel him with a second-year Najee and a first-year in Pickens, right? Get them, gel them together right now. Build your trio.
You had the triple. What was the triple Bs?
Yeah, you had Ben, Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown. They got a younger
The triple
version of
Bs.
that. Let's go right now. Build it now.
So now you have the Pickett and Pickens. Hey, pick them. You can make a fun name out of it. It'll sell. It's something you need to realize. On from that boring game. Give me Pittsburgh to cover. Give me Pittsburgh's defense.
Yeah, give me Pittsburgh, Deontay Johnson, big game.
I'm going to move a little, a little faster down these last couple games. Because
I am curious about Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, I agree.
The guy looks tough, man. He held Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
He was holding his own, man. The guy looks for real.
In each other's faces, too.
The guy looks for real. He wants all that smoke.
Yeah.
He wants that smoke. Yeah, he don't care. I love it. I love his swagger about him. I love the chains.
It takes that one embarrassment. So it depends who's going to put him on the poster first.
To humble him?
Well, I wouldn't say to humble him, but to see if he can keep that same energy.
I was gonna say, he doesn't seem to me like a cocky guy just because he's flashy and
I would
wears
just,
the
he
chains.
just needs to keep that same energy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he has. I mean, because going into this league, going into this year, people were talking Jamar Chase is the #1 receiver this year. There was that talk.
Yeah.
Okay, and he shut him down.
They've been shut down completely, though.
Sure. Jamar Chase had week 1 he had a great game.
Okay.
He did have a touchdown last week, but look at his yardage.
Yeah.
Right. So he got shut. Sauce Gardner shut him down, man.
Yeah.
Out of everybody he's played, Sauce Gardner has shut him down.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and he wanted it in his face. He wanted it like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
He realized I don't care if I'm a rookie. I'm here.
Hey, I'm little Jalen. I'm gonna talk that shit.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be right here. Yeah.
Then we have another fun one, man. The Bills at Ravens. While we talk about dogs, that's a dog fight right there.
That's gonna be a dog fight. And let's listen. Fuck the Ravens, but I'm rooting for them this week. We need all the help we can get. Okay.
Man, while Josh is throwing the ball so many times, he's 94 for 132, 9 touchdowns, 1,014 yards.
We played 3 games. This man's liable to have 5,500 yards this year, man. It's fucking crazy.
If they continue to let this man throw, we're going to be record hunting by the end of the year.
Oh, my God.
And understandably, everybody's going to say, yeah, well, you get one more game. Okay, but before that one more game, we're going to be talking about a record at this rate.
Right.
I mean,
and he does, he doesn't have too bad of a touchdown to INT ratio. It's like 4.5 to 1.
9 touchdowns, 2 picks.
Yeah, 4.5 to 1. So not bad at all.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
But
listen, Mac Jones right now has how many touchdowns on the year? And he's got more picks than he does touchdowns on the year. So I'm taking that 4.5 to 1 ratio any day of the week right now.
While this running back Lamar Jackson is 56 for 88. He hadn't thrown the ball that much. He also has 10 touchdowns. We're talking a 5 to 1 interception to touchdown ratio. So he does pick his points. He threw the ball 88 times.
The man is trying to prove to you he's a QB.
Yeah.
He just threw for 200 and something on Bill and then rushed for how many? The man's trying to show you something this year, guys.
He's playing with his own. He's playing with house money right now. He's betting on himself.
If you're going to gamble on anything, gamble on yourself.
26 carries for 243 and 2 touchdowns this year for Lamar.
He's having a better season right now than he did when he had his MVP season.
Yeah. That being said, I mean, Allen is the leading rusher for the Buffalo at 19 for 113 and 1 touchdown as well.
Is he going to get hurt, man? And I hate to see it.
That's what I'm saying.
But goddamn, how reliable are you? I mean, this you can't trust him that fucking much. You're going to get him hurt.
Yeah.
You're going to get him hurt, man.
That's the scares for every Colts fan and Jonathan Taylor's. We don't want to get hurt, but to see that much touches, yeah, that's scary.
That's scary.
Oh, give me what people are thinking is going to be a sloppy game because of the defenses. Sloppy offensive game because of their defenses. I'm going to take, golly, I don't even know the spread. We're talking 51.5, and the Bills are favored by 3. I think you got to go, golly. Buffalo's coming out for a loss, but give me Buffalo winning this game. No, give me Baltimore on a game-winning field goal.
I got Baltimore winning this game, man. I got Baltimore winning this game.
I think Buffalo's the real deal. I still think Buffalo wins their division over Miami. I still think Buffalo's the real deal, but Justin Tucker has got the real deal leg, and I think that's where it might come down to. And if it doesn't, if Buffalo blows them out, I won't be surprised either. I won't. I mean...
You want me to call another Justin Tucker kick?
No, I don't think that... If it's game-winning, I think Justin Tucker's the best kicker in the world, ever.
You know I've got to go with my guy, and he was your guy too, Adam Vinatieri.
Yeah, but...
I got to go with my guy in that moment. I have to. He's done it in the biggest stage.
Yeah. But I do think that they're going to hurt is I don't know if there's a defense that can hold the connection between Allen and Diggs. You know what? I am going to go. I'm going to go bias. I'm going to go against you here. I am going to go Buffalo.
Okay.
Give me Buffalo, and give me Buffalo. Oh, they're not favored. Oh yeah, they are. Yeah, give me Buffalo. I don't know if they cover the 3, but yeah, give me Buffalo for sure. I think we'll split this one because they're just something.
there's something about that offense, especially coming off of a loss, that they're going to have to realize, oh, we have to see through adversity, and then we're going to see if that happens this week.
Right. Give me Baltimore, man. He was talking about a connection between Allen and Diggs. Let's talk about that connection between Lamar and Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
I mean,
A tight end
this guy's
leading
on pace
his
for like
division.
1,400 yards or some shit like that for the season as a tight end.
Yeah, leading his team in receiving.
It's watch
22
out.
receptions for 245, but he has 3 touchdowns.
He's
It's only-
averaging a touchdown a game.
Yeah, it's only 1 behind Diggs. Diggs has 4.
I mean, that's a great. They've always had a great connection though.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a great connection to look out for. Mark Andrews could be the number 1 tight end in the league this year.
And no one would be shocked.
No.
Chargers at Texans. I don't want to cover much on this game because I think it's going to be brutal. Give me Chargers all day and give me Herbert on a turnaround game for maybe 400 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
If you ain't taking the Chargers to win and to cover, you're wrong because they're only favored by 5.
they are absolutely covering.
Yeah.
It's going to be a 2 possession by far.
Yeah.
I think Austin Eckler has a big game. I think Justin Herbert has a big game because this is a game where you go out and let the NFL know, hey, I know my division is tough, but we're right fucking here.
Yeah.
We're right here.
You want a sneak pick fantasy every week. I'm going to try to give one of those, and it's going to come from this game. I actually let him go on my team, and I think he's already been picked up. But if you're not going and grabbing Joshua Palmer right now, you're wrong. I would be shocked if he didn't go for 100 and a touchdown this week because people are going to be all about Mike Williams. Keenan Allen can't stay healthy, and they just lost Guyton to a knee injury. But Joshua Palmer is something serious, and he is going to have touches out of the backfield, touches out of the slot, screen catches, and he will always pop off for at least one big one sooner or later.
And in 8-man or 10-man leagues, go get you Williams from Detroit. He was my grab. This offseason, but that's an 8-man. That's an 8-man league.
Yeah, I grabbed Williams this week actually, and I was lucky to get him. I was the last man on the waiver wire, and he fell to me. Yep, I grabbed him. So yeah, that's not even worth talking about. I think that the next game would be the Cardinals at Panthers. Cardinals. The Panthers are favored. I got to go Cardinals, man.
I'm going Cardinals.
I don't know how the Panthers are favored. Because the Cardinals' defenses look bad, I got it. But we're talking about a high-end offense that can still produce numbers. Vegas has been on their stuff. Obviously, I have not been doing well in the betting sense. But Vegas has been on their numbers. I don't know if anybody's been doing well. Give me the Cardinals and give me Murray. Yeah, give me Murray. I think he rushes for 2 and he throws for 1 this week.
Now that I'm thinking about everything, man, give me the Panthers, bro. Kyler Murray said something.
Kyler
In
Murray
that
is 3
interview.
and 63 during double XP on Call of Duty weekends. Just for a fun fact, that's kind of weird. You know, like, how are you going to lose that many games and say I don't play video games enough?
Yeah, Jesus.
Tell me
Yeah.
I play video games too much without telling me.
No, tell me. Now we understand, okay? Now we understand why they put you have to study in your fucking contract, Kyler.
Hey, we should pull that back so we don't look
You
like
need to
idiots.
start watching film.
Yeah.
That's what you need to start doing. But give me Carolina.
Run routes on your Call of Duty and then take shots.
Give me Carolina here because I think they're going to have some locker room problems in Arizona right now, especially after Kyler Murray comes out and says in the interview, when you play for me or with me, you're going to have to be awake, implying that his guys aren't doing his job. They're not into the game. They're falling asleep. So I see a little controversy there. They're already struggling as it is. I don't see it
think he should
getting
have been
better.
traded in the offseason.
Kyler?
Yeah. I think it would have helped both of them. I'm not saying that Kyler's not the guy. I'm not saying Cardinals aren't the team. But yeah, I'm not saying either of those. I'm just saying you might want to find different situations because y'all don't mesh well together.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see how that situation pans out over there. But yeah, I'll take the Panthers this week, and I do not like Baker, guys. I do not like him, but I just think there's a.
I do.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
Your boys, Patriots at Packers. This will show your bias real quick. but I don't think this is going to be much of a ball game with Brian Hoyer. But Brian Hoyer, while he is a decent quarterback, he's not the guy. But Bill Belichick is. I just don't see it happening. Aaron Rodgers is now on a path to prove a point with a bunch of nobodies because not many people can name receivers from them.
Listen, he tries to prove a point every year.
Yeah.
He tries to prove a point in the regular season, and then what happens comes playoff. He fights so hard all year to be the number one team in the NFC, get a first-round bye, and then what does he do?
Shit the bed.
He shits the bed in the playoffs. Okay? So, man,
I got.
give me the Patriots.
Okay.
Give me the Patriots.
I got Packers, and I got Packers to not cover the 9.5, but I do have the Packers to win this game easily by.
Y'all mark my words, man. It's gonna be a rough day for Aaron Rodgers. It's gonna be a rough day for him.
I will see Judon getting at least 2 sacks this game.
I see Dietrich Wise giving me another 2. He had 3 last game. Remember Dietrich? Yeah, he's my leading sack. He's the leading person on defense for sacks. That's another thing about our defense. Can somebody explain to me why my fucking safety, old-ass safety, Devin McCourty, has more tackles than my young linebacker, Jawan Bentley? Can somebody explain that to me?
You're letting up too many passing yards. I mean, that's where the ball's getting across the linebacker before the ball stops. But well, we will find out more. I think your defense, if you win this game, it's going to be defensive.
Baltimore just ran all over us.
Yeah, it's going to be defensive led if you win this game.
Give
me.
if Kendrick Bourne plays, give me Kendrick Bourne player of the game. Give me Kendrick Bourne player of the game for the Patriots. If he doesn't play, give me Damian Harris.
I'm going to go Aaron Rodgers is going to throw 3 touchdowns this week because he's going to have to get rid of the ball fast.
Are y'all taking ayahuasca together? Or what?
Yes.
What is going on here?
It's called Shroom Nation.
Okay.
For the people that are still here, you should look that up. That's some fun stuff. Yeah, give me Aaron Rodgers only because he's going to have to get rid of the ball a lot. Right. Let's see. Move on to the Broncos.
Patriots all the way.
The Broncos at Raiders.
Such an overhyped division, and I'm glad it's panning out the way it is, so
Yeah.
everybody will believe me that our division is the hardest division in football, guys.
Does Devontae Adams have a reason to be frustrated?
No, he does not have a reason. I don't really think he's frustrated. Listen. If you wanted to win, he would have stayed where he was winning, right? They just couldn't do nothing in the playoffs. But if he wanted to succeed and be known as the number 1 receiver in the league, he should have stayed his ass at Green Bay. But he didn't. You know why? Because he didn't care about winning. He wants to get that money. That's why he left Green Bay.
Yeah, I think it's showing. That's why Diggs is better than him. Because I think Diggs.
Don't get me wrong. He's a badass receiver.
Yeah, but he had a badass quarterback in Aaron Rodgers, and
Good quarterback.
he goes to Carr, and maybe Carr's not the guy, but he loves Carr. I mean, their chemistry's there.
Played at Fresno State together.
Yeah,
they were good friends. Still are. So, yeah, but I don't really think he's frustrated. I don't. If you wanted to win, you would have stayed over there. And I know you couldn't do nothing in the playoffs, but you going to Oakland, you thought you were going to do something over there.
Yeah.
Knowing that you were going to have to go up against the Chargers.
Vegas.
And, I'm sorry.
I do the same thing.
I still.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
I did it for the
I feel like
Raiders.
they should have changed their colors to some kind of gold instead of silver if they would have moved to Vegas. But I think it would have helped.
Sure.
Give me the Broncos and give me the running back Williams to have a career day.
They look so bad, and they're 2-1. The Broncos.
Yeah.
They look terrible.
But I think Williams is a stud, and I think Oakland's defense is not going to be able to hold this man. Give me the Broncos and give me Williams to have that day, that career day. He hasn't even touchdown. He doesn't have a touchdown this year. Give me at least 10 carries, right? So we're talking
Look at that.
on average. Yeah, on average.
Brady beat him in the Super Bowl, bro.
Yeah, Brady's not having a year this year. We'll get to that next game, but I think it's a 2-touchdown day for Williams. Broncos win this game.
I think the Raiders get their W here.
They kind of have to, right? Like, until we start saying they're out of it, they have to get their game.
If the Raiders go 0-4, they are out of it. They are out of it.
Yeah.
They
I mean,
are out.
in that division for sure. Because they
Right.
still got to see the Chargers. They still got to see the Chiefs. Like, yeah.
They still got to see the Chargers, the Chiefs two more times.
Yeah.
Bro, if they go 0-4, they're probably going to have 8 losses on the year, 9 losses.
Yeah.
That's not getting you in the playoffs in the AFC.
Right.
In the NFC, all day.
But not.
Not in the AFC.
Right. Oh, I think we have a real fun game to cap it. Well, we'll have Monday night that we'll cover real quick. And if you want to catch Monday night's more projections, you will come see us on TikTok Sunday night. But the last game that we need to cover is that Sunday night football between the Chiefs and Patty and Tom Brady and the Bucks. I will, again, cover Monday, so don't leave right after this game. And I will cover some few things at the end of this that we will be going over. And then also this game, Chiefs are favored by 2. To me, Bucks defensive line are too good to show. Oh, Chiefs have moved to 1. Yeah, Chiefs are still favored, -1. So Chiefs have moved to 1. I still think that...
But they're giving Tampa the 63% to win.
Yeah,
Kansas City.
because it's technically in Tampa, but if they have to move the game, then it's going to be a central location.
Right. Is everybody coming back? I know Mike Evans is back. Is Godwin, Julio Jones, are they back?
I don't know.
Those are key. If those guys play, it's over for Kansas City.
Yeah.
Chargers, you win that game.
I think we, as the Colts, I don't want to say like embarrass them, or I think we shined a light on what could be for them. And what could hurt them, essentially. So I think the Bucks are really good. Tom's really good at film. Man, I think the Bucks win this game if they're healthy. And that's what I'm going to put out there is if they are healthy, they win this game.
I think they win with just Evans coming back.
I don't know.
They would have beat Green Bay with Evans coming back.
They would have beat us with Evans. Or, excuse me, they would have beat... But the Chiefs would have beat us if it wasn't for the flag. So while I don't want to look too deep into that, I still think Kansas City's solid, and I don't know if the old team of the Bucks can stay healthy versus so much moving parts for Kansas City.
Sure.
So I would look for injuries during the game, but I think the way if it's just Mike Evans, and not Julio, not a healthy Godwin, we're talking Kansas City, and we're talking by 10 with no problems. Kansas City's going to be out to prove a point. Patty's very good on comeback games.
Sure.
Give me Kansas City by 10 on a non-healthy Tampa Bay. And then player of the game is going to be Juju Smith-Schuster
He's not the leading receiver.
for 2 touchdowns this week.
He's not the leading receiver, like I told you.
Neither is Travis Kelce is dangerous.
Sure.
Okay?
Unless the fun's on him.
Yeah. But somebody's going to have to be there. Travis made a dent.
I
like Dean. I like Dean. You don't, but I like Dean. I like Dean covering Kelce.
No, I don't dislike him. I just think you're really high on him.
Yeah.
You got a lot of stock in him. I got.
And without the penalty after I left your house last week, he would have had his interception.
Yeah.
So give me Kansas City to win this game because Juju has 2 touchdowns.
Give me Tampa. I still think that Tampa Bay defense is something crazy, and I think they're better than y'all's defense. And if y'all's defense does it, and Tom Brady's over there watching film, man, you best believe they're going to have a really good defensive day.
Yeah. That's very true.
Yeah, I take Tom Brady.
Let it be known, because it could come down to this. Kansas City's on a backup kicker. But I don't think it comes down to a kicker.
Hey, they lost last week because of a backup kicker.
Yeah, I know.
They lost. The Colts, you beat them, but they lost because of their kicker missing 2 field goals.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Plain and simple.
Yeah, Harrison Butker does not miss those.
Right.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
Not just, but hey, I mean, this is part of the NFL, man. Injuries are part of the NFL, and like our motto in New England, next man up. Just do your job.
Yeah.
Do
And
your job.
if you're coming off the waivers as a kicker, first off, if you're a free agent as a kicker, you should be kicking 1,000 balls a day because that is your job.
Sure.
If you're flipping burgers, you're not going to be like, oh, how do I cook a burger? Should I take it off now? You're going to know when to take it off.
Right.
You're going to know when to kick a ball. Obviously, it's different with fans in the stands, but put some headphones on, listen to loud music, and then kick that some gun, you know?
Right.
So why we disagree there, it's okay. Last game. And please jump on TikTok live Sunday night with us, guys. This will be out there for a couple days, so you'll at least be able to see it. Same name. We're going to get on there Sunday night, and we're going to cover this game. But I will tell you, Rams at San Fran is going to be bad. The Rams are in San Francisco.
Bad as in like a terrible game to watch?
Like the 49ers are favored, and it's going to be an upset. I think the Rams are going
Rams are winning that game.
Yeah, I think the Rams are going to. While I'm so high on Jimmy G, this is going to be that Rams defense breakout game, and I think it's going to be brutal.
Yeah, I do too, man.
Jimmy can't leave the pocket like Kyler, and the Rams did a number on Kyler.
Yeah.
Jimmy can't leave the pocket like Marcus Mariota. The Rams did a number on Marcus.
Sure.
The only quarterback to beat the Rams is Josh Allen.
Josh.
Okay.
And here's the thing.
Jimmy's not Josh.
LA was still hungover from the Super Bowl for
Yeah.
that game, so. You know.
Jimmy's not Josh.
No.
So let's take a little step back of all these ratings of saying all the 49ers are that team and giving them so many favorites and realize that the Rams are just not looking like their Super Bowl self because they're hungover. Easily give me the Rams. And I'm talking Jimmy might throw 2-3 picks this game because Aaron Donald's going to come for some bodies this week.
Right. And, yeah, I'm with them. Give me the Rams. Give me the Rams. Give me Cooper Kupp. Big game here from Cooper Kupp. Yeah, and expect a big one from Debo, too, though. He hadn't had one. He hadn't had one this year, and he's too good of a talent to not have one.
That's the only way they win this game is if Debo goes old Debo, like last year Debo, like hot year Debo.
Well, I still don't think it'll be enough to beat him.
Yeah.
But I still have the Rams, but I think Debo does have a big game, and I think Cooper's player of the game.
So last week, I didn't post it. That's something you can't post after because you look like a narcissist. I took Tua to get injured last week. He knows it.
He did.
I'm going to go first touchdown of the game. First touchdown of the game Monday, and this is Wednesday. First touchdown of the game is going to be the Rams defense.
Whoa.
Yeah, and it might be a punt return, but it counts to the defense. So I don't care.
Defense / special teams. Will do, like fantasy will do that.
Yeah. But I wouldn't be shocked if it's a pick six, and I wouldn't be shocked if it's by Bobby Wagner on a tip pass pick six.
Oh, on that prediction.
That's a pretty spot on, to a point. But give me the whole defense for the first touchdown, but Bobby Wagner pick six.
Wow, that's a hell of a. If he calls that, guys, I don't know what to say. Especially after he called the Tua injury.
I felt terrible when I called that injury, by the way.
But I will say that I called a Justin Tucker missed field goal, which is more rare than.
Oh yeah, on an extra point. So we called 2 rare ones. I mean, because Tua has not been injured, so
never, or not in the NFL.
Right. So while the NBA hasn't started, that is our NFL week. If there's more you want us to cover in depth in the NFL, we've been going for an hour and 22 minutes, guys. There is no time limit on this ever. But if I can cover something in the NBA every week, I will until it starts. And I'm going to cover 2 things here. One is I feel for Lonzo, man. I wish he wasn't injured. I think he's a great talent. I think he's both sides of the ball. Do I think he's a superstar? No, I think his brother is because he has the flash and everything. But I think he plays on both sides of the ball. It's bad to see this man is at his age as he is, and he can't even jump.
Right.
Can't run. So, my prayers and respect goes out to Lonzo. I hope he comes together.
Yeah, wow. Man, I love that guy. I like that guy a lot, man. I like that guy. And I know a lot of people don't like his daddy, but, man, he did everything right, in my opinion. You put your boys in the spotlight. You put a lot of money behind your boys. You did it the right way, man. And people that clown him for being outspoken all the time, but that's just who he is. He's the guy. He's that type of guy. And to people to bitch about him, he's there too much, man. Fuck it. A father being there too much. What do you mean?
As a dad, you're gonna get hated on for not being there or being there too much.
Sure.
But I will say you called this. LiAngelo got a contract yesterday from the Hornets, so now him and his brother are together. While I think he's probably the 9th man on the roll, the 10th man, he won't see the court much.
Yeah.
He deserves it. He's the best shooting player on that team.
Yeah.
Lonzo's the best two-way player, and LaMelo's the best scorer. But LiAngelo, man, that dude can shoot. He didn't average points in these leagues for no reason. I know they're lower leagues, but he's going to get you some points.
Yeah.
Especially with them losing.
Here's the thing. Let's give him. Somebody's got to give this man a shot. Fuck. LeVar was honest when he told us about Lonzo and LaMelo.
Yeah.
He was spot on there, and he told you about LiAngelo.
LiAngelo's the best shooter.
So why not give him a chance? Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's finally time.
Yeah.
And the other thing is obviously a touchy situation, so leave if you want to. If you're soft, I don't care. The fact that Kyrie Irving gave up $100 million for the unvaccinated, it makes me sick. I feel two ways. As a lower end person on the pay scale, I would have got the shot for $100 million. But I understand no one stands up for themselves like he did, and that goes along with betting on yourself. I respect him for standing up and standing his ground regardless of the money that was thrown in his face.
Right. Man, I'm with you there. I'm not vaccinated, okay, and I don't believe in it. If you do, you do your thing. I don't, but for $100-something million, yeah, I might believe in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to stand your ground as a man, it shows a lot more than just, hey, I'll do anything for money. While I
won't do anything for money, but
where I'm sitting, while I will do something for money, where he's at, and the talent he has, stand your ground.
For $100-something million, I'm not standing my ground on shit.
So here's one though: it's $100 million for 4 years. So you're saying you're not standing.
It was $100+ million. It wasn't $100 million.
Yeah.
We're talking $40-something million a year is what he was talking about.
$40 million.
I'm not passing that up.
Right.
That's generational.
But if it's religion,
huh?
It's religion bound.
Well, to each his own. That's
Yeah,
you
exactly.
do what you believe in,
Yeah.
man. Whatever you believe in, that's your thing.
And I won't go into depth in this, but I guess put your money in pickleball because LeBron's doing it.
Hey, LeBron. Hey, I'm glad you said his name. They have them as an underdog right now, waiting for an underdog story. NBA, you just fucked up for saying anything underdog and have LeBron's name in it within the same sentence.
Yeah.
If you thought 30-8-6 last year was good, just wait a fucking minute.
The way that the Lakers win this championship this year is if they run the team through AD.
He has to play more than 40 fucking games.
They have to run through him and let LeBron be. I won't say the second man because he obviously is one of the greatest players.
Show.
But AD has to bully ball again.
That's why they missed the play-in last year and had a bad season because they were built. You're built around LeBron, yes, but what they were doing offensively was really going to be around AD. AD was going to be the 30-point guy this year.
Yeah.
He was going to be the 27+ guy this year. He was supposed to be, right? They planned so much around him that when he was gone, they went fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think that Westbrook had a bad year but could turn it around. I don't see them as my favorite to win the championship. If you want a projection for me, it's going to be the Clippers or the...
The year off's hard.
But if you go...
The year off is hard, Kawhi.
Yeah, but if you go as the shocking team to win it, what we'd all love to see... Man, I'd love to see the Timberwolves win this championship.
Not happening.
No, but there's not a chance that it can't. I think they're missing the big man in the paint last year. While I don't think Rudy was what people think he is, I think he's going to turn his around because he doesn't have to worry about anything outside the paint.
Rudy, I don't need Rudy to get me 25 points a game. I need Rudy to get me that
rebounds.
rock. I need that.
Yeah. So while he doesn't have to leave the paint anymore, he doesn't have to be the pick and roll guy. He's in the paint. Cat's running the pick and roll, pick and pop. Anthony Edwards is, and I was wrong, and people that watch this, for friends that know this, Anthony Edwards is that dude.
He was the best player in that draft. He's better than LaMelo, bro.
Yeah, and
he is better than.
I mean, he was picked number 1, and it shows why. I guess people know what they're doing. And deloading is ice, bro. I mean, he doesn't miss when it's time.
Yeah.
D'Angelo Russell's a beast.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite players on that team is the bigger size of Patrick Beverly, and you're talking Vanderbilt. I think that's his name. Jared. His defense is something to reckon with. Right. So that's the shock of the year.
And that's another thing with Minnesota. Look how good they just got defensively.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because they had the back-to-back defensive.
You got somebody to protect that paint now.
No.
Right?
And
hey, Jamal Murray, you want to drive down there and dunk on somebody? You're gonna have to go through that big motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, Ja Morant is one of those ones that can go do it.
And he wants to dunk on everybody.
But that's a Eiffel Tower right there.
Yeah.
So there's some couple of NBAs. We will cover so much more NBA when the season starts. We will cover baseball whenever the playoff starts. We'll be able to get through these faster, and we'll be able to do this before an hour and a half if that's not what you want to watch. Fast forward through some of these, catch what you want. But I will give a shout out to Albert Pujols on congrats on making number 700. Especially the firstborn player. Was it?
The fact
Dominican-
that this man's hitting home runs and hitting the way he is in year 21,
Yeah.
it's got to speak for something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This
and-
man's on another level.
Don't think you'll see this very often or very ever again, maybe. But the Judge season is.
Oh wow, we won't see nothing like this for a long time, guys.
People, please praise him like they've been praising Ohtani. I know Ohtani is doing it on two sides of the ball, and while I was a believer 2 weeks ago that Ohtani's still the MVP,
No.
go back and look at the stats. And Judge isn't making errors in the outfield.
He's
So
about to win the Triple Crown. I wouldn't give a fuck if he was making an error in the outfield. You know what I mean?
Right. I think that's something to look forward to. So while I've had fun, week one, we are going to come at y'all every Thursday morning, at least this, if not Wednesday night. This will be posted. I got to do my editing that I'm learning to do. So don't look for this high-end podcast. Look for two guys that love what they do with time on their hands to come hang out, have fun. If you want to join us, you don't have my number. Hey, inbox me on Facebook, inbox me on TikTok, and inbox me on YouTube. We will get this out to you guys. So if you have anything left for these guys, man.
Man, I don't. For anybody that's going to tune in, man, thank you guys. Support us, share the page, talk about us. Man, and if you're going through anything, man, pick up the phone. Text somebody, text a friend, text a family member. Don't keep it in. Holler at somebody. Holler at us on these chats, man. We'll talk to you guys. Just don't stay quiet, man. It does nothing. It doesn't take away any of your pride just because you ask for some help.
Yeah.
Just speak up. Don't hold it in, guys. Love you guys and thanks.
For the guys that are rewatching this from my last time that I was doing this by myself, man, we're gonna go beyond. We're gonna go beyond that. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna be something serious, whether that's 2 viewers, because to me that's something serious. As long as I'm touching somebody,
Sure.
At heart, at mind, and then, like I say every time, guys, check on your friends, check on your family, and just check on somebody random, man. Ask somebody at the mall, hey, how you doing today? Because it could change somebody's life. I appreciate y'all. Take care, and we'll see you next week. I'm going to have to cut